This is one of the best hidden powers of the Quest 3, and most people have no idea that the Quest 3 can actually do this. I'm talking about the Quest 3 as a game emulator. The Quest 3 is the most versatile game emulator on the planet, and that's not an exaggeration because you can literally explore an arcade that's filled with real arcade cabinets and games. You can play 3DS games with true 3D, looking into the world you're playing. You can also play the classics like SNES and the Sega Genesis on top of newer games like the PlayStation 2. Today, we're talking about a few different options for how you can emulate games on your Quest 3. Couple of housekeeping rules. Number one, I'm not showing you specifically how to do all of this emulation. I'm going to give you the programs, show you how they work, and then links are in the description for you to download them and set them up yourself along with instructions. Plus, I'm not going to link to ROMs because that's up to you to find your ROMs through backups or whatever avenue you decide to do that. First, let's talk about the most exciting one in my opinion, and that is Age of Joy. Age of Joy is actually a game or software you can put on your Quest that's an experience in and of itself. It allows you to explore a massive arcade with pretty much never-ending rooms, it would seem, that can be populated by arcade cabinets and actual arcade ROMs. There's a whole website and Discord that can help you get everything set up with links in the description, but essentially what this does is allow you to take cabinet art that people have created, put it on your Quest, and then put the corresponding ROM with that cabinet so you can populate an entire arcade with all the arcade cabinets that you could want. There's everything from the old classics like Donkey Kong and even light gun games can be played in this. You can also actually play retro games like SNES and all that stuff, but I haven't tested that part of it yet. And personally, I actually just like the option of being able to play that in mixed reality, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Age of Joy is an unbelievable experience because not only is it a massive arcade, but since I showed it on the channel quite a long time ago, it's been updated massively. Lots of NPCs now inside of this world. There's a ton of different rooms and ways to get around, and you even start off outside of the arcade now and you see an arcade that you're going to walk into. There's a lot to love about Age of Joy. It's a passion project for the developer that's created this, and it's free, so all you have to do is sideload the APK through SideQuest and then get everything set up for the emulation with the ROMs and the cabinet art. Once you do that, and it does take some, and I'm going to tell you right now, it does take some time to get it set up, but once it's set up, you'll be blown away. You can then jump into your personal arcade whenever you want and play whatever arcade games are your favorite ones. It's absolutely fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, let's talk about Citra VR. Citra is an emulator that runs 3DS games, and I've used the actual flat emulator a lot in the past on a mobile device, but this actually allows you to play it on your Quest. What's the difference? Well, you can actually sideload the actual Citra APK onto your Quest, and it'll play just like it does on your phone. Citra VR takes that to a whole new level, allowing you to actually move the bottom screen around and adjust where the positioning of it is so it makes more sense for you, and it actually makes the image three-dimensional. So like playing Mario Kart, it's hard for you to see what it actually looks like in the headset. You're actually seeing into the world. It's like looking through a window into these worlds, whether it's Mario Kart or it's Metroid or Kirby or whatever game you're going to end up playing. It takes the 3DS experience, what it should have been, and gives you that. I know I played the 3DS a long time ago, and the 3D was cool at the time, but it kind of gave me a headache, it hurt my eyes, and it just didn't work the way that I wished it would have. This allows you to play with true 3D because it's in VR or mixed reality, and it's just stunning and it's amazing. You're seeing some hiccups here and some frame drops. Some games do run a little bit hard on it, but when you're recording on top of that on the Quest 3, it really takes a hit for what it's able to do. So when you're playing this and you're not recording, it's going to work a lot better. But trust me, Citra VR, in my opinion, is the optimal way to play 3DS games because you get the true 3D experience and a massive screen. And these games look really good in the headset on a massive screen. I was actually surprised how amazing they actually look. The next one we're talking about is RetroArch or RetroArch, however it's said. This is a pretty well-known emulator, and you can install it using the APK onto your Quest. Now, one thing to note about this, RetroArch doesn't work with the touch controllers or with your hand tracking. So you'll have to actually connect a controller to it. It works, but it's a pain in the butt because it thinks that you're trying to scroll because it's a mobile app. I connected my Xbox controller, and in fact, it's actually a lot better if you have a controller to connect through Bluetooth to play these games because it's an actual controller, and it worked amazingly with RetroArch. Being able to play the SNES games, the Genesis games that I had on there. You can play PlayStation games. You just essentially download the core that you want, which is an emulator, and then put the ROMs into the right folder, and then you can go through your entire library and you can play all those games right in that one software. I love those classics. You can just load an entire library. I'm telling you right now, it might sound weird, but you almost could buy a Quest 3, completely fill the hard drive with emulation and ROMs, and just use it as an emulation console because it's massive and it would be amazing. With a massive screen, great audio, and the fact that you could just sit there and play anywhere, I think honestly this is the ultimate emulation station, if you will. After RetroArch, Aether SX2 is the best emulator I've tested on the Quest 3 for PlayStation 2 games. PlayStation 2 games actually run extremely well. I tried it a while back. It might have been on the original Quest or Quest 2, and it worked pretty well. For whatever reason, Quest 3, I guess that extra power works a lot better because I didn't have any frame drops in what I've played so far. I tried out Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, and I tried out Kingdom Hearts 2. I tried out a few other games I didn't record just because I wanted to see how they worked, and it all worked considerably well. In fact, I want to go back and play a lot of my PlayStation 2 games on this screen just because I love PlayStation 2. In my opinion, PS2 is actually the best console in history. In my opinion, it has some of the best games I've ever played. There's other consoles that are great too, but PS2 is like the golden age of PlayStation, in my opinion. So you got Age of Joy for your arcade games, allowing you to play your arcade games in a massive arcade. You've got Citra VR, allowing you to play your 3DS games in full 3D, and you got RetroArch for all the other retro stuff, including PlayStation and everything else, plus PlayStation 2. Now you can actually put other emulators on there too. You can get a Nintendo 64 emulator if you want to, or GameCube and Dreamcast, and a lot of those actually work considerably well, some better than others. These are my primary ones though that I have loaded onto my Quest 3 now, and the ones I'm going to use. But let me know down below which emulator you have tried or you want to try so we can all share the best settings and best options, and I would love to see more people using their Quest 3 as an emulation station because it's really mind-blowing. It's a hidden power of the Quest 3 that not many people talk about, but I think a lot more people really should. Flat gaming is so cool on the Quest 3, and I wish more companies did it officially besides like Xbox, but it's amazing to play emulators on anyways, even if they're not going to officially support it. If you've got backups or whatever you've got for ROMs, you can play them right on the Quest 3, and it's absolutely fantastic. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. If you've done this before, let others know what the best options are for emulators and all that jazz down below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button so more people see this video, and don't forget to subscribe, and as always, happy questing. If you enjoyed this video, you might like this video here on the screen as well. Check it out.